So we know the game is over, right?
What?
We know the game is over?
Yeah.
And we won?
He did the post-game interview, so he must have won. Yeah, they had to win. They had to have won.
2? Yeah. So why are we doing the post-game interview? Yeah, why are they doing? Yeah. Oh well. So I guess there'll be no sponsors in the pregame. Here. That's Aaron's call, I guess. Must we tell him to do it? Get the spots in.
for University of New Hampshire hockey. Tonight, your Wildcats take on the RPI Engineers. Now, for tonight's starting lineups. First, for the Engineers. At left wing, number 21, Brady Whippin. At center, number 11, Evan Tyranese. At right wing, number 14, Riley Corbinay. On defense, number 13, Jared Wilson. Also on defense, number 19, Mike Prepovesis. And in goal, number 1, Cam Hackett. The Engineers are coached by Seth Effort, assisted by Brian Vines and Nolan Graham. And now, the starters for your Wildcats. At left wing, a junior from Hampton, Massachusetts, number 10, Jason Salvazio. At center, a junior from Manhattan Beach, California, number 11, Michael McNicholas.
Right wing Matthias Cleland, the captain, joins Cameron Marks on the blue line, and Danny Taroni in net for RPI. Evan Taranese, the sophomore center, has Riley Bourbonnais, senior, on his right wing. He's the captain, and sophomore Brady Whiffen on the left wing. Junior Jared Wilson and junior Mike Propavesis are the defensemen, and the netminder is Cam Hackett. RPI comes across, and here's a wrist shot from Lou Nanny that gets tipped into the netting, and a chance for me to bring in my broadcast partner, Pete Webster. Pete, how are you?
I'm great after that good, solid win come-from-behind win by the women's basketball team. But here, as you said, we've got the RPI Engineers in their road bright red uniforms with brown pants, and we think of RPI, Rensselaer. They have a 3-game winning streak against the Wildcats that UNH hopes to turn the tables on here tonight.
Well, you started describing the uniforms for RPI. We'll have to get the Wildcat uniforms as well, as Marcus Velichips in the Cats in their home whites with the blue helmets, blue shorts, and blue lettering across the front. And that's today's official uniform report, brought to you by Collins Sports Center in Rochester, the official screen printer and embroiderer of the Wildcats. Call 603-335, that is, 1417. 603-335. 14-17. Wildcats on the breakout as Miller works it to Iserman, and he'll dump it into the corner. Let's get keys to a Wildcat victory tonight, brought to you by Sullivan Tire and Auto Service.
Well, a big key is going to be scoring in the 5-on-5 situation. Rensselaer has a pretty darn good penalty kill, number 9 in the country. Number 2, you've got to be aware of the early period onslaught, and right now RPI is out to a solid start in the early going with pressure from the Wildcat end. And number 3, ride the Tyrone wave. Danny Taroni with a good win against UMass on Friday. Ride that wave. He's hot right now.
Coming off a 6-2 victory against UMass the other day. Those are the keys to a victory tonight here against Rensselaer, brought to you by Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. We're always here to get you there. Visit sullivantire.com to learn more. Patrick Grasso tries to move into the zone along the right wing side, but he's broken up by Mears Moore. Moore goes to the far side of the ice, only to have it knocked away by Van Riemsdyk. Back to Blackburn. He tries to center for Grasso. Can't get through. And RPI will play it off the glass to center ice. Taken away by Blackburn. He comes into the zone right wing side, goes across the way. Touch pass comes to Cleland. He tries to backhand one in front, slaps off the pads of Hackett, and works to the near side, and the Engineers will break it out. Jake Morello, the left wing, crosses to the red line, then dumps in. He'll give chase. Marks is just a tad behind him, so it's worked to the far wall. Jake Wood. Wood runs into Jamie Hill, who stands him up, so it goes behind the Wildcat net, where 2.5 minutes in, no score. Justin Fragona, freshman for the Wildcats of Mississauga, Ontario, gets the line, then fires to the left wing corner. That's where Moore will play it behind the net. Ends up in front for Jamie Hill, and he fires off a blast that goes wide. Hill with a turnover in the low slot, and the first grade A opportunity for the Wildcats.
Yeah, that's already the second chance Jamie Hill has had on net. That one was a golden grade A chance there, set up on a bad pass by Rensselaer behind their own net.
Wise gives to Maller. Maller looking to feed for Gona. Gets a piece of it, and it ends up on the Engineers' side of the ice in the corner. Propavesis trying to dig it out of there, but good work in the forecheck by McNicholas. Plays it to the point. Anthony Wise up the half wall. McNicholas comes near side. Maller has it on his forehand, whips it behind the net, smacks off the kick plate, and now it's dug out by Kelleher. Comes up top. Wise. Wise throws one off the end wall, and the ricochets on the stick of Savaggio. Curls it around on the wing. Now Maller, a one-timer, a blast on the right side. Kick save made by Cam Hackett, the sophomore from Ontario. Behind the net, McNicholas. Drop pass left wing, no one home. Intercepted by Jesper Orval, and Orval gets to center ice and then dumps into the Wildcat end.
Now this is the line the Wildcats should be able to give Rensselaer all kinds of problems here. That McNicholas line with Savaggio and Kelleher. Their scoring numbers are impressive.
Puck is pinned in the right wing corner of the Wildcats zone. Wise can't control it. Comes into the right circle for a quick wrist shot. Save Taroni. The rebound just goes wide of the near post as Brady Whiffen had 2 opportunities. Whiffen still controls along the right side. Really missed a golden opportunity to give Rensselaer the early lead. Kelleher along the right side goes centering with it. Past McNicholas' stick onto Iserman. Iserman tried to get back to Kelleher. Broke it up, but McNicholas has it. Comes into the zone. He's 1-on-4. Needs some help as he gets pressed against the near wall by Manley. McNicholas still battles and gets some help now from Iserman. Tries to return the pass to McNicholas. Broken up at the circle, and now RPI to center ice. And it's sent in by Reno. Dylan Chanter will get to it. Behind his own goal line. Works at Davella on the right wall. 15-10 to go. First period. UNH nothing. Rensselaer nothing. Final game before Thanksgiving. Next Wildcat game is at Madison Square Garden against Cornell. Saturday night at 8. We'll talk more about that. during our Bud Light intermission show. Engineers come into the zone. A wrist shot is blocked at the point of execution as Jacob Hayhurst came in from the right wing side and moved to the high slot. Cats try to come out in transition. Maller over at center ice, it's Chris Miller. Miller, a nice pass to Eiserman. Comes in, forehand shot, score! Chris Miller fires, and the Wildcats take a 1-0 lead at 5:17 of the first.
Well, the Wildcats have fought off the early onslaught. Not that great of an onslaught, but good pressure by RPI at one end, and they get a great passing combination and a nice setup for Chris Miller coming into the RPI zone. And the Wildcats are the ones that take the early lead off a great shot and a great move from left to right by Chris Miller, putting it over to his forehand and just beating the netminder Cam Hackett cleanly. That's a great finish there by Chris Miller. 1-0 Wildcats.
On the topic of cleanly, EnviroVantage cleans up the fish as it was tossed over the glass, serving New England for over 25 years. EnviroVantage, your one-stop resource for environmental cleanup. Proud to be an official partner of Wildcat Sports. Visit EnviroVantage.com to learn more. Chris Miller, the sophomore from Windham, New Hampshire, has his first goal of the season, playing on the second line with Shane Eiserman, who delivered that great pass, and Marcus Vella. For Miller, his fourth career goal in this, his 45th game. So the Cats strike first.
Well, that's really important, too, as Rensselaer gets stronger as the game goes on. So good for the Wildcats to get an early lead here.
All right, the initial assist given to Matt Dawson and Dylan Chanter. As the puck goes out of play, 14:05 to go in the first. UNH 1, Rensselaer nothing. This is Wildcat hockey from Learfield. RPI nothing, 13:47 to go as we come back to live action. Danny Tironi covered up an easy puck that strolled on in to the crease area. Face-off will be to his right. Engineers win it. Back to Manley at the point. Works along the hash marks. His pass attempt broken up by Kelleher. Now Kelleher looks to accelerate as he skates to the blue line. Reno got there first and plays it off the far dasher. Loose puck at center. Claimed by the Engineers. Back in his own blue line is Tyrannis, and he'll flip it into the Wildcat end. Wise will get there first. Comes behind the net to Kelleher near wall. Centers to McNicholas. Plenty of room for Michael McNicholas. Gains the line. Comes to the slot. Goes across to Salvaggio. Has to chop down the bouncing puck. He'll go behind the net with it. And to the near side, Tommy Grant for Rensselaer. Salvaggio near the Engineer bench. Gets a hit from Bourbonnais. And the puck gets to the Cat line for Matt Dawson. Leads Kelleher. Kelleher across into the zone, left wing. Trying to spin around. Grant plays it out in front just beyond the reach of Salvaggio.
A nice little toe drag between the legs there by the Wildcat. Salvaggio trying to break in, free things up for his line mates.
Dawson gets to the red line and he'll play it in, and the Wildcats will chase McNicholas, or make it Fragona on the forecheck into the corner, trying to work around Grant. Grant and Fragona continue to battle. It's on the far wall of the RPI zone, and now it's out at center. Dawson chips it forward. It's played over to Hill. Hill backhand gets redirected to Cephalou. Cephalou comes in right wing side, and a forehand shot goes into the sweater of netminder Cam Hackett. Face-off upcoming with 12:25 to go in the first.
Yeah, it should be about the fifth opportunity on net for the Wildcats to just one for the Engineers. Cephalou putting it right into the P of the RPI logo on the netminder Hackett. Another good start for the Wildcats against UMass. The Wildcats scored in the first shift, or within the first minute.
All right, faceoff comes back. Cleland, the blast, and a save made. Matthias Cleland at the left point really had that one measured up, but Hackett closed the pads, and RPI has it back at center ice. And the pass onside as it brings into the zone. Right out in front of the crease, it goes sliding to the near corner. The feed came into Nanny from Melanson. Now it's out to the point for a one-timer. That goes wide, might have been tipped. Defenseman Jared Wilson started that one from the point, and now it's out to the RPI zone, and coming well out of his crease, Hackett to slow it down for Wilson. Puck at center ice. Miller, a two-hand shove, takes Melanson off the puck. Vela gives it back to Wise, deep in his own zone. And the Wildcats regroup and look to break out along the left wing. Miller will just backhand it in. He's at the end of a shift, so Hackett plays it behind his own cage to the near side. Wilson surveys, head up, and delivers a pass to the red line. It's flipped out by DeVito, but over to Maller. Maller moves to center ice just beyond the extension of Grasso, but joining the play is Wise. Wise, left wing, comes into the RPI zone only to lose the puck, and it slides off the stick of the Rensselaer's Melanson and out to center ice. Goes to the Wildcat zone. Giving a chase there is Orval, and he'll be a little late. Van Riemsdyk on the far wall for UNH. Plays it deeper in his own zone. That's Maller. 1-0 Wildcats. 10:52 to go in this opening period. Patrick Grasso comes into the zone. Forehand shot blocked down. Chip forward by Blackburn into the crease, but under the pads of Hackett. 10:47 left, opening period. Thanks to Chris Miller. It's 1-0 Wildcats. This is Wildcat Hockey from Learfield.
To be skating at an angle, slightly diagonal, and he has a perfect angle to shoot in on the goaltender Cam Hackett. And oh, he buried that on the glove side. Good finish there. A little accidental assist by Matthias Cleland. He'll take that as he was like in a 1-on-3 situation. Buried by Kelleher. His 6th point in the last 2 games.
9 straight games. Kelleher has at least a point, and 9 consecutive games that Cleland has at least a point, as Cleland assists Tyler, the senior from Longmeadow, Mass, his 8th goal of the season. Second on the team in that category, first in points, now with 23 overall. 2-0 Cats. Centering pass from Hill, but it's intercepted. And RPI down 2-0 on the first of a 3-game road trip. They go to Arizona State after this, so they have a long week ahead. And down 2-0, they'll have to dig out on the road. Cephalou gets into the engineer zone, flips it off the end wall, goes behind the net. Over to grab it is Parker Reno. And Reno gets to center ice onto the stick of Tyrannies. He's at the end of the shift, so he'll dump, and Maller will go retrieve. Maller works up ice near side to Chris Miller, who had the first strike for the Wildcats. He gets to Vela, and Vela would have been offside, so he slows it down. Orval, the outlet into the Wildcat end, but Maller steps in and breaks up before it could get on the stick of Wood. UNH in transition. Cross-ice pass gets to Vela onside right wing. Vela blows a tire as he slides through the faceoff circle, and in transition comes Jake Morello. Morello into the Wildcat zone left wing side, backhands it, goes behind the net. That's where Marks is there. 8:25 to go in the first. Cleland near side. Matthias to center ice. The captain will chop it into the RPI zone. Vela goes after it, but behind the net, RPI able to work it near side, and the Engineers break out. Morello near his own bench. Can't get it beyond the reach of Marks, and Marks has the takeaway.
I'm really impressed with the Wildcats play on their own half of the ice here tonight.
They fire it down, and Grasso nearly snuck in the back door behind Wilson for a shot attempt near the right post. But now RPI's got an odd man rush developing, a 4-on-3 if they can straighten it out. Here's a quick wrist shot that goes wide on the right side by Victor Liljegren. Now it's pressed against the left wing boards. Liljegren's after it, as well as DeVito, Chanter, and Cleland for the Wildcats, but Liljegren continues to battle. Works the puck to the right goal line extended, now drops it to the point. Trying to flick it in was Grant, but it's blocked down nicely and then cleared out of the zone by Brendan Van Riemsdyk. Polino along the near side, defensive zone for RPI. Will carry behind his own net to avoid the chasing Van Riemsdyk. Now he skates beyond Grasso. McNicholas finally forces him to give up the puck. It's behind Tironi, who stays in the crease. Dawson tries to get there. It's along the end boards, and Dawson will take it away. Here comes Matt Dawson, skating left side. Feed for McNicholas. Too far for him, gets to the RPI line, and the Cats back off.
So that was just indicative of the good play of the Wildcats inside their own blue line, as we have an offside RPI. The Wildcats, just one touch of the puck, they were able to take it over from 2 forecheckers of RPI and start the breakout immediately. Right away, get it up ice.
All right, 6:53. /analytics. Face-off just outside the UNH zone. Manley gets to the draw, and now it comes into the zone left wing side as the Engineers work in. Takeaway, though, by Dylan Maller. Maller gets to McNicholas. McNicholas across the line right wing. Gets to the hash mark. Tries to give back to Maller, and he skates to the end boards and could not maintain control. The first goal of the Wildcats, Chris Miller at 5:17. The assist on our computer said Dawson and Chanter. We'll correct those for you now. Shane Eiserman had the primary assist, as we thought, and then Matt Dawson the secondary. Here's a puck right out in front. McNicholas almost could have backhand bid. Has to gather it back in and try to work it to the slot for Kelleher and Salvaggio, but it's pinballed to center ice. Salvaggio too quick. Gets McNicholas. Comes into the zone, left wing side. Back to Salvaggio. A shot and a save by Hackett. Wildcats, Pete, just seemed a lot faster than RPI here in the first 14 minutes of play.
Yeah, they certainly do, and there was an unselfish play by Michael McNicholas. He got a little headman pass from Salvaggio, and then Salvaggio kept streaking on the outside down the left wing side, and Michael just gave him a little feather pass right back, and everybody knows what a good shot Jason Salvaggio has and has developed here as a Wildcat. And the junior from Hanson, Mass, let it go. Good save on that play, but nice unselfish work down low.
Cameron Marks throws one in from the point. It's a bouncing puck as Hackett let it go. Then he covers up and gets the whistle. That was a tester sent in from the right point, and the test was nearly passed by the Wildcats as Hackett was bumbling there for a moment.
Yeah, Cam Marks let it fly. It was a high one, so you're looking at any kind of deflection off a stick, off a glove, off a shoulder. Ended up going all the way through. Hackett juggled it like an acrobat.
Off the face-off, Wilson uses the end wall to get it to Prapavesis. Right back to Wilson near side of the RPI defensive zone. Prapavenis deep corner, and the centering feed finds Riley Bourbonnais. Bourbonnais deals it left. Whiffen comes in. Back to Bourbonnais, a forehand shot. Stick save to Roney. Gloved aside by Cleland on the far circle. Marks pokes at it, can't control. Bourbonnais in the corner. Now Cleveland over to Marks. Into the near corner. No one controls it yet. RPI applying pressure on the forward check, but Vela gets there. Vela to Iserman at center ice, right near the Wildcat logo. He'll slap it off the far boards. And behind RPI's net. The other way, it's Tyrannese. Tyrannese to the red line, slowed down before he could get to the Wildcat zone. Cephalou can't clear, as we've had an issue with our clock here, as the puck is iced by RPI, so the clock is disappeared. Here it is, exactly 5 minutes remaining in the first period, and UNH hanging on to a 2-0 lead over Rensselaer.
Yeah, just watching it real closely in the Wildcats' defensive half. The Cats are giving RPI no time or space to work with the puck. There's pressure, 1 and 2 guys on it constantly.
Cats win the face-off here. Dawson throws one in from the left side. That's knocked down, bouncing around the slot before being cleared to center ice, and Whiffen will chop at it, move it to the UNH zone. Chanter behind his own net, looking for Fergona near wall, broken up, stolen. There's a wrist shot that sails over the crossbar. Good opportunity off the turnover by Jake Wood, but it sailed high. Wood runs into Chanter. Wood ends up down. Chanter ends up with the puck. Near side looking for Fergona. It's kept in by Duvall. Wood, centering pass intended for Morello, gets broken up to the point. Moore will keep it in and throw it off the kick plate. Behind the net, Wood. Left goal line extended, Morello works it up the wall to Moore. Moore works it deeper, goes all the way around to the right wing side. Giving chase is Orval. Orval against Hill. And chipped out to center by Dawson, and he leads Fergona. Justin Fergona, left wing side in the circle. A forehand shot save made by Hackett, and it's out to the far boards. On the rebound, Rensselaer in transition with 3:50 to go in the first period, and the Wildcats hanging on to a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, that was a nice shot by Justin Fergona. He had a couple of plays in his own end where he just couldn't really get the puck out of the zone, and extended time by RPI, but coming down the other way, he gets a bit off.
Hackett tries to clear to the near boards. Blackburn keeps it in, and Maller fires one again, a high one that bounces off the chest of Hackett, goes to the far side. New Hampshire on the forecheck. Keeps the puck in the RPI zone, but the Engineers look to come out the other way, and they do bring it to center ice. As Maller gets to it at his own blue line, avoiding the poke check of Liljegren. Liljegren still working along the far side as he's given all kinds of headaches to Wise. Takes it to steal, and a shot to save by Danny Taroni. A glove save and a beauty on a rocket from the right circle, triggered by Captain Jimmy DeVito.
Wow, DeVito hit a laser too. I don't know. Danny just tracked that puck out of the corner so well, and he knew it was coming from that stick of DeVito, and he just snagged it out there with that big right paw glove. Save of the game? We got a save of the... That was the save of the game so far. We got a long ways to go, but great one there by Danny Taroni.
Scrappy play by Danny Taroni, and being scrappy, a core principle of Direct Capital, a division of CIT Bank, where being scrappy is a core principle. Direct Capital making small business lending remarkable and a proud employer of UNH alumni. Learn more at directcapital.com/UNH. Coming into the zone and sending one high was Hayhurst. That clangs off the glass, ends up in the right wing corner where Melanson digs it out. Slams on the brakes, tries reverse direction, right wing boards. Now continuing on the cycle, Hayhurst works it to the point, Wilson. Wilson plays it off the end boards. Delay call coming up against the Wildcats, and they'll go on the shorthand as the first penalty of the game is called with 2:36 left in the first. It's UNH 2, Rensselaer nothing. This is Wildcat hockey from Learfield. Engineers will regroup and come into their zone left wing side. Handled over there by DeVito, who was robbed a few moments ago by Danny Taroni. And a sloppy pass from Wilson leads to the puck coming out of the zone again, and that forces some backpedaling by Tyrannese. DeVito looking ahead, has it intercepted by Maller, and Maller with the outlet pass finds McNicholas. McNicholas comes in, fakes the one-timer, and continues deeper into the RPI end.
Yeah, boy, didn't Jared Wilson want to get off the ice after a couple of miscues from his defensive spot in the power play.
RPI comes across into the zone, a forehand shot that actually hit a teammate as it ended up off the body of Papravessis. Comes out low. Now Papravessis at the right point. Comes to the slot. Works it back right wing. Hayhurst now comes across to the left side. Orval had his shot blocked off McNicholas. Kelleher hustling to the far side, but it's kept in by RPI, still with 30 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Puck in the right circle. Shot by Hayhurst. Blocked again and cleared by the Wildcats.
Yeah, Wildcats doing a great job getting into the shooting lanes and blocking these bids.
Now from the left side, a shot by Bourbonnais is broken up as it slammed off the body of Chanter. Grasso gets to center ice and lifts it into the RPI zone. Cleland in the box for 10 more seconds. He was called for hooking at 17:24. And RPI has iced the puck with only 7 seconds remaining on the man advantage and 43 ticks left in this first period. A period UNH leads 2-0.
Yeah, the Wildcats look like they're going to kill off this power play. Their runs at a 14.7% clip for the Engineers. The Wildcats looking to improve on their 84.5% penalty kill ratio.
An impressive showing on this first power play that the Cats had to kill off as Cleveland comes out of the box. And up the ice is Riley Bourbonnais into the Wildcat zone right side, cut off by Wire. Wire gets tripped up. Puck continues to be struggled for along the far boards. 25 seconds remaining in the first. Comes off the wall, ends up on Wise's stick behind his own goal line, works it out right side for Grasso. Chip back into the Cat zone. Wise has to avoid the linesman. And he goes across to Dylan Maller. Should give some love to the officials. Jeremy Lovett and Jeff McCorkle, the referees. Jeffrey Miller, Thomas Quinn, the linesman. As the Cats go offside, I think with 8.1 seconds left, or do we have a call?
Yeah, we had a delayed penalty there that whole time. The Wildcats had possession of the puck in their end. Danny Tironi was trying to get over to the bench. Didn't want to take a chance, though. And the referee, Jeffrey Miller, is trying to find the player number 4 that had snuck his way onto the bench. Tommy Grant, the defenseman. He was the one that took down Anthony Wise. Although, I'm not sure it was him, because I don't think he was that far up. But they're going to keep him in the penalty box, though. I think Tommy Grant said something to the referees that, hey, that wasn't me. I wasn't way up there in the corner. But the Cats will get their first power play here this evening with a 2-0 lead.
That is a Unitil power play. Unitil energy for life. There's only 8.1 seconds left here in this first period, so if the Cats can strike early, they'll go up by 3 in the intermission. Face off to the right of Hackett. Puck is still underneath the sea of players, and we get a whistle. Hand pass.
Yeah. Yeah, as Jason Salvaggio was battling for that puck, Tyler Kelleher snuck in to sneak it out, and well, Salvaggio had hit it with his glove, so the faceoff's going to come outside the blue line.
The official call on Tommy Grant tripping at 19:51. But now Salvaggio is going into the box.
That doesn't look like what they were signaling.
Now, it looked like they said hand pass,
Yeah.
but apparently there was something more nefarious. So the power play lasted 5 seconds, and this means the faceoff will be for RPI in their right faceoff circle of their offensive zone.
Oh, Matthias Cleland asking for an explanation from the referee. Yeah, it looked like Salvaggio was down on the ice. I don't know how he could hold or hook or interfere, but the referee had the better view than I did.
The Cats have to simply win this face-off. Kelleher will take the draw. It comes back. A shot gets knocked down by Marks as he stepped between the puck and Danny Tironi. So 4-on-4 hockey when we get to period number 2, but a good first period for UNH. The Wildcats scored twice. Chris Miller with his first goal of the season at 5:17, and then Tyler Kelleher off a great pass from Matthias Cleland at 10:03. UNH 2 and RPI nothing. After this timeout, we'll have the Bud Light Intermission Show. Bud Light, a proud partner of UNH hockey, reminding all fans to enjoy the game and drink responsibly. This is Wildcat Hockey from Learfield.
Who knows?
To the Wildcats moving from right to left here. Mike Murphy, Pete Webster, and Jeremy Mahaney, our producer. 2-0 in favor of UNH, wherever you are listening along the stations of the network, or if you're watching on YouTube. Happy Thanksgiving. Hope you're getting a good start and getting together with family here and enjoying the Wildcats' early start against RPI. It's 4-on-4 hockey as we come back, and the Engineers carry into the Wildcat zone with Bourbonnais carrying behind the net, keeping out at the left point, where Proper Vexus plays it behind the goal line. Cleland takes it in the corner. He'll use the far wall to hit McNicholas. McNicholas in stride goes past his own bench into the zone and leaves it for Kelleher along the right half wall. Kelleher skates behind the goal line. Tried to go in front. Too strong a pass for McNicholas and makes Cleland go back to his own zone to get it.
It just feels like there's so much ice here with a 4-on-4 situation.
Yeah, 4-on-4, fresh sheet of ice, all kinds of different obstacles as the teams are just getting reacclimated after the intermission break. RPI out of its own zone. It's Hayhurst, can't control at center. Cleland dishes off to Kelleher. Kelleher skates across the line, left wing. He's taken off the play by Lou Nanny, and so it's back to Maller. 40 seconds, only about a 5-second difference between the two penalties. You have Salvaggio sitting for the Cats and Tommy Grant for the Engineers. Here's Grasso coming in. Left wing side, Van Riemsdyk tried the return pass. Grasso got tied up, and this will be a penalty against Rensselaer.
Yeah, that was a nifty little play by Patrick Grasso. He faked like he was going to go straight down the gut from outside the blue line. That drew the defenseman, both defensemen, right towards him, freeing up Brendan Van Riemsdyk on the left wing side, and Patrick continued to head straight for the net. And Brendan, being the unselfish player that he looks for the pass first before the shot, tried to hit Patrick Grasso, but he was all tied up. That caused the penalty. Boy, I love those. Those guys just seem to really know this game, and Patrick with those little nuances, just like a little head fake, little body fake.
So it's 4-on-3 action right now, a Unitil power play. It's Kelleher in the slot. Down to the right circle, McNicholas. Back to Kelleher. Cleland left face-off circle. Down low to Grasso. He surveys, goes across the crease, trying to hit Kelleher in the back door. Energy for life from Unitil. Kelleher from the forehand, he wound up and tried to fire one, but the drive was deflected off the body of DeVito. Back over to Cleland. Kelleher high slot, drops it down low, but behind Grasso. Cleland at the left elbow, works towards the corner. Back to Kelleher. Out of the box comes Eiserman. Now we're back to 5-on-4 hockey as the first two penalties have elapsed, and RPI clears it to center ice. It's DeVito coming across alongside Grant, right wing boards. DeVito tries a sharp angle shot, save made by Matthias, or make it by Danny Taroni over to Matthias Cleland. And Cleland goes to the far side of the rink. Grasso accelerates across the right wing line. He skates behind the net and then has it poke checked away by Manley. Still 50 seconds remaining on the penalty to Moore. Behind the RPI cage, it's Grasso going after it, right wing corner to Eiserman. Eiserman tries to go through traffic. It's broken up and stick checked away by Cleland to the left corner. Kelleher looking to stretch out for it, but Melanson shields him off. Now it is gathered in by Eiserman. Back to Cleland, left point. Across the way, right circle. Held there by McNicholas, looking for Kelleher on the cross-ice pass, broken up by Drew Melanson. 25 seconds remaining on the power play. RPI will chip it to center ice, and Cleland will gather it in and back it up deep in his own zone. Cat set up one last rush, leading 2-0, 16:45 to go, second period. Cleland comes out of his own zone. Now gains the line. Eiserman left wing. Finds the cross to Vela. Forehand shot sails high, reaching up with a glove to snare it is Cam Hackett.
Oh, that was a really, really quick snap pass there, but right on the stick of Marcus Vela, and he handled it very cleanly. Got that tough bit off. That was labeled upper 90s. That Eiserman on that quick snap pass.
Things develop quickly, but there's only 2 seconds remaining on the Unitil power play. Miller, who had the first goal, Kelleher had the second tally. Miller will take the face-off, left circle. And it's won by RPI, so they will kill off the remainder of the penalty and try to move up ice. Coming across the line was Wilson and took a shot. Goes behind the New Hampshire cage. Maller works it to Wise. Near side Eiserman along the boards. Long headman pass and a beauty. Tape to tape. Works Eiserman, making Vela into the zone, but he lost an edge along the half boards and loses the puck as a result. Odd man rush the other way. 3-on-2, but RPI is offside. 16:11 to go in the second. 2-0 Wildcats. This is Wildcat hockey from Learfield. Into the zone, left wing side. He's ridden into the corner by Grant. Hill playing on a line with Cephalou and Fragona. They're the fourth line tonight for Coach Dickie Milley's Wildcats, looking to avenge a loss last year to the Engineers. In fact, as we've mentioned a few times, 3 straight wins in the series for RPI, 4 of the last 5. But right now it's a 2-0 UNH lead, 15:25 remaining. Hill in his own zone will skate out. And he'll flip it, bouncing puck. Comes over to Propavesis, and he'll work it near wall. Comes to Bourbonnais. Bourbonnais across the Wildcat line, right wing side. Goes beneath the circle, backhand feed in front, stolen by Blackburn as there were no Engineers around. Blackburn's pass hits off the stick of an RPI player. He regathers, gives to Van Riemsdyk, and Van Riemsdyk will backhand it into the RPI zone. Hackett comes out of the crease and works it near side to Orval. Orval gets it to center ice, but that's where Chanter cheats in a bit and gets to Van Riemsdyk. He'll put it right back into the RPI zone. Blackburn on the forecheck. Works it to the right wing boards. Chanter has it at the point, veers towards the middle. He'll throw one that gets blocked in the right circle by Wood, and Wood the outlet to Orval. Orval crosses into the Wildcat zone right wing side against Dawson. He works out in front, can't get a shot triggered. It goes to the left wing corner. Out to the point. Moore plays one down to the slot. It's bouncing there. Dangerous spot, but Blackburn does enough to work it to the far boards, and then Grasso clears. Played right back in by RPI, but New Hampshire looking for the outlet. Snap pass Dawson toward Van Riemsdyk. He was at the end of his shift, gets a piece of it. And the Engineers the other way. Long diagonal feed broken up by Chanter. Comes to Salvaggio near boards. He comes in and gets a hip check from Grant. Grant works it near wall. Hayhurst bouncing puck high slot. RPI comes out. Now a 2-on-2 the other way. Speeding into the Wildcat zone. Drop pass from Melanson was left by Hayhurst. And Cleveland got a stick in there. Puck bouncing in the low slot. Attempting the blind shot was Nanny, but he couldn't get it off. It comes out to Cameron Marks.
Yeah, both teams tightening things up here in their own end, so not a lot of extended time, not a lot of crispness.
Stick check as Marks has it taken off by Melanson. Melanson comes in right wing side, looking to cross it over for Lou Nanny. It's tipped into the right wing corner. Hayhurst, he skates along the wall, goes across away left point. There's a shot that gets bouncing and then knocked away by Cleveland as it was bouncing on the near side. And Cleveland saves Tironi, who was facing the other way. Kelleher and Salvaggio come 2-on-3 the other way. Kelleher leaves it back for Maller. Too far for him. A chance for RPI as they had a man streaking. And now the long outlet pass, the connection is made. It's Whiffen coming in. Wise able to get back and press Whiffen against the left boards. And it's out to center ice again. 13 minutes left. Second period, UNH 2, RPI nothing. Rensselaer has it behind its own net. Working along the near side was Propavesis. Now a slow down. And he goes to the wide side of the rink to Tyranese. Tyranese clears the line and sends in. Wise will get there first and deal it to Maller. Maller gives it up right in front of the net. A shot save made by Tironi. Rebound covered up. Oh my goodness. Tandy Tironi, thank you.
Wow. Wow. What a difficult turnover there by Maller in his own end. And it was basically a 3-on-none right there by the Engineers in front of Tironi. You had Tommy Grant sitting there, Brady Whiffen sitting there.
The top line,
Whoa.
yeah, Tyranese and Bourbonnais. What an opportunity. And a big sigh of relief from Dylan Maller. He would have felt awful if that one went in after he turned it over right in front of his own netminder. Face off to the left of Taroni. He is playing some seriously good hockey. He was the #1 star in the UMass win. Here's a shot that was sent in, blocked down. Goes behind the net, Dawson. He wasn't the #1 star and they win, but he was one of the top 3. I guess Kelleher getting 5 points is pretty good. Flipped in by Eiserman right into the glove of Cam Hackett. That was from outside the blue line, so an easy save and a face-off upcoming.
Yeah, nobody's happier than Dylan Maller on that, the senior out of Parkland, Florida. Breathed a huge sigh of relief. Went with Douglas Hospital in Dover, New Hampshire as the Seacoast leading medical center and official hospital of UNH Athletics. Learn more about their locations, services, and health centers by visiting www.wdhospital.com.
Mike Murphy, Pete Webster here at the Whittemore Center. Next time UNH plays on home ice, December 2nd, it's Whiteout the Wit, Friday night against Maine. Tickets are available, limited tickets at that, for the biggest rivalry matchup of the year. UNHWildcats.com or 603-862-4000. Off the face-off to the right of Hackett. RPI wins the draw and brings it out to center ice. Vela gets to it and works it back to Chanter. Now it's Shane Eiserman across his own line. Eiserman plays it off the far boards, ends up going out of play. It's right behind the Wildcat bench on the glass over there in the front row.
Yeah, it'd be good in that next home game to sell out the Wit and pack this place. Means a big draw always. And there will be some huge hockey points on the line with that weekend series. They'll play here on Friday and drive up and play in Orono Saturday. Everything I hear is that playing back in Orono is a tough chore once again as they're selling out the place.
Well, it was a nice trip to Orono for the UNH football team last week. We made that drive after the win against UMass here Friday night, and on Saturday a thrilling 24-21 win for the football team. They won the Bryce Cowell Musket. It was a fun ride back. You know, that ride, everything determines what happens up there at Alfond, whether it's Stadium, as it was last weekend, or Alfond Arena, where we will be for that battle on December 3rd.
Yeah, I got to watch it on the stream, and once Maine figured out the stream, it worked pretty well, and got to see a huge chunk of that game and yelling on the couch.
2-0 here, Wildcats. 11:35 to go, middle period. Puck bouncing around the center zone. Battling after a Blackburn. Grasso joins the play, and sliding down was Manley, but Grasso could not take advantage. Puck is sent in and handled after it bounces around for a few moments by Parker Reno. Has to back it up. Van Riemsdyk gets to it. Gives the pass to Grasso in the left circle. Right back to Van Riemsdyk. Angle shot right out in front as Blackburn was moving in. Van Riemsdyk put it in parallel to the goal line, hoping for the rebound for Blackburn. Nothing materialized, and it goes back to the Wildcat zone in the far corner. Cleveland battles, works it up the boards for Grasso. Grasso centers it Blackburn, and here comes that freshman line. Blackburn into the zone to Van Riemsdyk, left wing. He'll play it off the near boards for Blackburn. Grasso on the cycle, can't get to it before it's flipped along the near boards all the way down the ice by Tommy Grant. Matt Dawson hustles back, and UNH trying to catch RPI in transition, but Van Riemsdyk will just touch it and play it towards the net, slowed down by Hackett. Almost midway through the second period, and after UNH scored twice in the first, nobody has found a way to break through here in period number 2.
Yeah, what a fast game, too.
The jinx is on as RPI comes into the zone. Good poke check by Dawson to take it away from Hayhurst, and it comes the other way. Hill and Fragona coming 2-on-2, but Cats are offside. 10:18 to go here in the second. 2-0 UNH. This is Wildcat hockey from Learfield. And Kelleher in the first. Puck is wrapped around by Wise, ends up along the right wing boards, and RPI attempts to clear and is successful, but Maller at his own blue line leaves it for Miller, and Miller will backhand a bouncing puck over towards Eiserman near the RPI bench, lifts into the zone. Miller will get over there. Chris Miller, left side, tries his center for Vela. It's redirected behind the net. Miller gets to it along the right boards. Out to the point, Maller. He'll chip it forward. Vela on the right wall. can't get around Propavesis. And it comes to center ice. That's where Maller saw a crowd on the far side, so he works it near side Wise. Wise to Miller. Miller tries to go left to right. He gets taken out on a hip check from Wood, but Vela gets into the zone with it. Gets clustered up by a couple of Engineers, and now RPI will have a penalty here at 10:37 of the second period. UNH will go on a Unitil power play. Unitil Energy for Life. We'll tell you who is in the box when we come back to the win. 2-0 UNH over RPI. This is Wildcat Hockey from Learfield.
Cornell.
Well, good luck. You can handle yourself.
I can.
All right, Wildcats on a Unitil power play here. What was the call, Peter?
It was kneeing. Kneeing on Jake Wood.
Kneeing on Wood. There you go. There's the call. It's a Unitil power play. Unitil Energy for Life. Cats control left side, although Cleland's pass across the way couldn't handle it, and it's out to center ice, so the Cats have to regroup. Salvaggio moves in right wing side, trying to go around Bourbonnais. Salvaggio angles towards the net, then deals it in the corner. Grasso for McNicholas. Back to the point. Cleland. Kelleher left wing. Kelleher moves to the slot. Trying to drop it down low. Salvaggio, but he could not get it around Hayhurst. And it's a center ice, and Jacob Hayhurst will backhand it down the zone. Nice job. 8:35 and counting. Second period. Already a 2-0 lead, and the Cats trying to take advantage of this power play to build a 3-goal cushion, but they can't get situated in the RPI zone. It's chipped out to center by Mike Propavesis, property of the Dallas Stars, junior from Oakville, Ontario. Matthias Cleland skating out of his own zone, uses the pass to get Kelleher. Kelleher zooms across the line, centering feed behind McNicholas, and easily sent down.
Yeah, the Wildcats not really able to establish a whole lot in the RPI end here, so they'll get their second unit out on.
Still 35 seconds to see if they can muster something with the man advantage. Grasso will wind and fire it right to left. It wraps all the way around. Blackburn has it, left faceoff circle. He goes behind the net. He's got Eiserman on the doorstep, instead back to Marks. Maller left point over to Blackburn. Now it's Marks at the right point. Near side Maller has it on the forehand. Down low, tipped by Vela, but could not get it by Grant. Vela has it back. Diagonal feed to the point right side. Marks puts it in front. Tipped by Eiserman. Loose behind the net. Eiserman comes back to it. 5 seconds left in the power play. Back to Maller, a one-timer. That slap shot hit Hayhurst's stick. RPI kills it off. We're back to 5-on-5. Blackburn, sharp angle shot, hits the post. Vela's rebound. That also hit the pipe. In front, Vela, he's in the crease, but he couldn't get his stick on the puck. It's out in front again and comes back. Boy, the Wildcats, so many chances. All right, here comes Wood the other way. Wood, he fires one on a wrister that hits the end boards, comes out to the far wall. Marcus Vela, and Vela leads Eiserman. Now we're starting to open up play. Eiserman slams the brakes just as he comes across the RPI line, looking to center it. Cephalou chopping at it, but it goes to the far corner.
Eiserman just sitting there with the puck, and 5 RPI engineers out there, and none of them are really taking Shane Eiserman as the Wildcats finally finish their line change. But how about that? 2 pipes right in a row.
And so it stays 2-0. See if RPI can use this good fortune and get some momentum. It's been all Wildcats thus far. Goals by Miller and Kelleher, and the shots on goal differential 18-5 in favor of the home team. Chanter goes to the far wall and is able to connect with Fragona. His centering pass went too high for Cephalou, so it's back in the Rensselaer zone. Engineers using the end wall to pass it far side to near side. Parker Reno. And Reno hits the center. Terranese, he turned it over, but we get a whistle. And now, a little bit of extracurricular as Fragona and Terranese had to be separated.
This might not be so good for the Wildcats here. We may end up seeing a 5-on-3 with 2 Wildcats in the penalty box. Hill will get the initial infraction, I think, for a hooking violation. And will we see an added one given to the Wildcats Fragona for knocking down the Engineer player from behind with a little cross check? I think that's going to be about it there, yeah. Fragona is heading to the penalty box. Yeah, it's going to be a 5-on-3 situation, I presume.
After Vela hit pipe and Eiserman hit pipe, we wondered aloud if that might be the kind of good fortune that would turn things around for Rensselaer. Well, if that didn't do it, the idea of having a 2-man advantage with 6:05 left in the second period certainly could give the Engineers a spark.
Yeah, there was something that caused Fragona to go after the RPI player. I'm not sure who it was, and that's what the referees are talking about right now with the linesman. Because there was something that instigated that, and I caught it out of the corner of my eye. I wouldn't be surprised if they matched it up, but then again, I wouldn't be surprised if we go 5-on-3.
So far, the odds are stacked against the Wildcats as they have 2 players in the box, and while Coach Dick Umili has a conversation with the officials Jeremy Lovett and Jeff McCorkle, so far nobody has come into the penalty box.
Well, the referee's coming over here to the RPI bench, and I'm wondering if they're going to drag something over there. And they
are not.
Well, they got 5 guys out on the ice. Is one of them going to head to the penalty box? I don't think so. It's going to be a 5-on-3.
Yeah, I think they came over simply to explain to head coach Seth Appert in his 11th season. All right, 5-on-3, so this will be a test for the PK unit. Kelleher, McNicholas, and Cleland are out there. Face off to the right of Taroni, who's already stood in his head a couple of times. He hasn't had to make many saves, 5 total, but he's had a couple of spectacular ones. Off the face-off, it's controlled by the Engineers. Wilson has it left side. Wilson holds and gives it near side to Propavesis. Checking it's Terranese. Comes right side, played off the end boards. Bourbonnais has the rebound, and he'll play it back to Wilson, right point. Wilson, a 2-man game with Terranese. Terranese winds up, fakes the slap shot, instead passes down low. On the left side, Polino. Comes to Wilson, right of the circle. Cats are pinching in deep. There's a slap shot. That sails high. The rebound bouncing around the far post, and it comes all the way back to the point. Wilson. Terranese. Terranese now switches places with Wilson to the left face-off circle. Down low, cross-ice pass. Saved by Taroni as he was able to stop the shot from the right point by Bourbonnais, who broke his stick on the shot from the bottom of the circle. Wilson comes down low. Polino. Here's a one-timer. That was blocked before it could reach Taroni. Still a minute remaining on this 5-on-3 penalty against the Wildcats, as both Hill and Fragona watch. Down low again, one sent across the crease. Taroni able to cover up, and the whistle. Some pushing afterwards as Brady Whiffen ends up on the ground.
Yeah, it's an obvious play that RPI is trying to do. They're trying to work it down low and do the cross-ice pass right through the crease to the guy in the far post. But what the Wildcats have to do is they have to get guys like McNicholas or Kelleher. When it goes down to one side, the opposite guy has to get down low to get in that path, as Cleland, the defense down low, will adjust to the puck. And the Wildcats, McNicholas was doing that very well as RPI is working it down to Taroni's right, looking for that pass across to his left.
All right, Terranese at the right point, moves it to Wilson, center slot. Wilson drops it down low, held by Polino, trying to move it in front, but it's broken up and lifted to center ice by Marcus Vela and down the ice.
Yeah, same play again by RPI. Nothing doing that. Salvaggio getting low and breaking that up.
Do the Wildcats have 30 more seconds of penalty kill in them? Coming across the ice was Terranese. Has it right wing circle, heads towards the net, trying to backhand it in front, trying to stuff it home, but unsuccessful was Jimmy DeVito. It's behind the goal line. Salvaggio uses the boards and wraps it out of the zone. The crowd responding, showing approval of this Gutsy effort here. 10 seconds remaining on the RPI two-man advantage. Tyrannese comes across. Has it in the high slot, right side. One-timer. That gets tipped wide. It was blasted in by Wilson. Wilson prays it back to the point. Here's a fake slap shot. A wrister. Blocked. Taken by Vela. Vela lifts out the home run pass. He hits Blackburn. Blackburn moves in. Forehand, backhand shot. Save. He switched to the backhand at the last instant. The save made by Hackett after the penalty elapsed. Melanson comes the other way. His pass right in front. Tip and a save by Taroni. Great feed for Nanny, but he couldn't get it home. Wildcats the other way in transition. End-to-end action. The pass from Blackburn didn't have enough on it to find Cleland, and so instead we come the other way into the Wildcat end. It's Melanson giving it down low. Right side pass. Wood tries to shoot upstairs. Save Taroni, and the Cats send it down the ice.
Hey, throw caution to the wind here. Everybody get going up ice. Oh, we got some highway robbery going on out there by a pair of netminders, though.
Stays 2-0. 3:15 remaining in this second period after UNH killed off the 5-on-3. We saw some wide open hockey both ways and terrific glove work on the part of Cam Hackett and Danny Taroni.
Yeah, and Hackett, Liam Blackburn tried to go do that extra shift to the backhand and go 5-hole. And Hackett, I don't know how he adjusted there at the last second to close him up.
Kelleher behind his own net. Hits the brakes and hands off to Maller. Maller near side Wise. Back to Dylan Maller between the circles in his own zone. The headman feed, too far for Kelleher. To the near side, it's scooped up by Reno. Behind the net, Manley. Manley works at far boards. And some room to operate there as Morello has it at center ice. RPI got as far as the New Hampshire line, but it's turned over. McNicholas comes the other way, gives to Kelleher. Kelleher tried to put it on net, but it's redirected behind the net, now out of play. 2:21 left here in the second. UNH 2, RPI nothing. Over to Cleland. His slap shot gets tipped. Over to Miller. Forehand bid. Save made as closing the pads was Hackett. Over to Hill, right wing. Miller along the boards. Marks to Cleland, left point. He works it down low. Hill looking for a tip. Tried to backhand it near the near post. Sealed off by Hackett and then backhanded out of the zone by Wood. Cleland back at the UNH line. Works it to the far wall. That's where Iserman will pounce. Iserman from Miller. Miller chips it forward with 1:35 left in the second period. No scoring here in the second, but 2-0 UNH. Long outlet pass comes to Victor Lildrigan, but he's offside.
I saw a little shift in the lines there. I think Jamie Hill jumping up on the second line with Miller and Iserman. Perhaps Vela's been switched down with Cefalu and Fragona on the fourth line. We'll see how that goes, but great work there by Hill and Miller to get a couple of bids. I think three bids actually they had on the net. One chest save and two pad saves by Hackett.
Face off outside the UNH line. Wise with a stick check to move it forward for Salvaggio. Salvaggio gets wrapped up. Penalty coming up, and this will go against Rensselaer. And the guilty party is junior Mike Prapavesis.
And he says, what did I do? And, well, you just had a 5-on-3. Sorry, Mike. You had a 5-on-3 situation. You got your stick tangled up with a Wildcat player, and he tripped down to the ice and couldn't chase the puck, so you're going to sit.
This is a Unitil power play. Unitil Energy for Life power play. So far, New Hampshire 0 for 4. They had one cut down to only 5 seconds, so we'll see if they can have a good 2 minutes here, although there's only 1:20 left in the second period. Face off to the right of Hackett, comes into the corner and is sent to the far wall. Cleland will keep in. The captain works it to Kelleher on the left wing. Kelleher has one goal already. Cleland a one-timer, sent in, save made.
Yeah, Hackett saw that one all the way. No screen out in front as the Wildcat forwards down low, still expecting it to be worked around the perimeter a little bit.
Cleland assisted on Kelleher's goal. Matias now with 13 assists on the season. Kelleher, the only Wildcat with more. He has 15. Kelleher will take the face-off. At least he's scheduled to, and it was going to be Hayhurst. He's been chased. DeVito will take the draw instead for RPI. Puck still loose in the circle. Gets pushed against the end boards. Wrapped to the far side by Wilson. Comes out of the zone. And Cleland on it. In the far face-off circle for the Wildcats. Almost skated right into Taroni as he gives it out to Grasso. Cross ice McNicholas coming into the zone, left wing side, heads towards the net. His wrist shot wide. Kelleher slows it down in front of the blue line, right point. Right half wall, McNicholas. Down low, Grasso. Grasso goes behind the net towards the far post. Over to McNicholas. Cleland out high. Kelleher centers it. Salvaggio took a slapper. That got blocked. Fight for it along the left boards. Grasso keeps it alive. Salvaggio there, 24 seconds left here in the period. Salvaggio pinned against the near boards. Puck squirts out to the point and then skips over Cleland's stick and down the ice.
Now the Wildcats setting up with just a point man out at the center ice and moving Tyler Kelleher down a little bit farther down the half wall.
Here comes Kelleher gaining speed, moving right out in front, but he couldn't control as it ends up in the corner. Played in front, McNicholas fans on the bid from the far post as time expires. A pass came from the left wing corner and found McNicholas coming from the right side, and with less than 2 seconds left, Michael McNicholas nearly snuck in a power play tally.
Oh, I think he saw the width of the net wide open there, and he knew he had to get it off quickly. It was just too quick when he swung at that.
So still 40 seconds remaining on the Unitil power play when we begin the third period. Scoreless in the second, but thanks to goals from Miller and Kelleher in the first, it's UNH 2 and Rensselaer nothing. After this break, it's time for the Bud Light second intermission show. Bud Light, a proud partner of UNH hockey, and reminds all fans to enjoy the game and drink responsibly. This is Wildcat Hockey from Learfield.
All right, take your time.
Of the penalty against Mike Prapavesis gone, and we're back to 5-on-5. UNH 2, Rensselaer nothing. Mike Murphy, P. Webster with you at the Whittemore Center as the Cats try to go over 500 with a win today. They'd improved to 6-5-2 heading into the frozen apple battle with Cornell at Madison Square Garden Saturday night. Rensselaer, other ideas, trying to come across 3-on-2, broken up on a poke check by Maller. Puck ended up in the crease. Taroni alertly makes the stop. Here's a shot fanned on from the mid-slot by Terranese, and UNH will capitalize. Vela looking to center for Miller, couldn't handle a bouncing puck, and RPI back in its own end. Long headman pass comes from Grant, able to connect to Bourbonnais, comes across, works it to the point, shot thrown in by Terranese, goes behind the net. Whiffen digs it out, works it to the near side, but that's where Vela has it. Vela has it bounce off an RPI skate, back over it. Here's Bourbonnais turning for a wrist shot, but Wise got in the way and it goes off the glass. Bouncing right by Taroni off the far post, looking to wrap around Whiffen to the near side, but he couldn't keep it on his tape. Back it comes to Wilson. He tries to fire one in, but Wise knocks it down, and Anthony Wise comes out of the zone. Across to Vela, and Vela will simply play it to the Rensselaer end.
We see Vela starting this period with Eiserman and Miller once again. I'm not sure what happened back there in the second period with the line change.
Lou Nanny hustles into the Wildcat zone along the half boards. Moves it back to Manley. Manley throws it in, tips off Blackburn's stick, ends up in front, and the Cats come away with it. It's Grasso ahead to Blackburn. Blackburn looking to get around Reno, but he's unsuccessful, and it's back at center ice. That's where Dawson will move in. Dawson tries a quick wrister. That's blocked down. And on the far wing, it's Melanson. Melanson sends to center. Chanter can't stop the bouncing puck, so it veers into the left wing corner. And that's where Hayhurst captures it. Hayhurst behind the net, joined by Haney. And that's where Grasso will use the near side glass to move it to center ice. We're 2.5 minutes into the third period. Wildcats in front 2-0. They have a 23-15 shot advantage. Only one shot here in the period. It belongs to the Engineers. Melanson carries across the UNH line. Gives it on the near side to DeVito. DeVito pushed into the corner by Chanter. And now we'll get a call at 2:53 of the period.
And that's going to be a hand pass, and that'll come out to center ice. Boy, the Wildcats still doing a good job of getting their sticks in the way of where the Engineers want to move that puck, whether it's on the stick handle or a pass. Very, very effective of blocking things tonight here, the Wildcats have been.
Faceoff comes outside the UNH zone, and at the red line, it's handled by Rensselaer, but Cleveland gets to it, chips it forward looking for Salvaggio coming into the zone. Now it's Kelleher. Kelleher moves in front, forehand shot, kick save on the left pad of Brackett. Then it goes behind the goal line. Terrific play by Cam Hackett. As Kelleher was looking for his second of the night, he and Chris Miller have the Wildcat goals, both coming in the first period.
Yeah, it was a real tight angle that Tyler was trying to work through there, but he made Hackett work for that save.
Cleveland on the far side, Salvaggio, good centering feed, McNicholas. McNicholas skates into the RPI zone to Kelleher. Touch pass, Salvaggio moving in left wing side, but he's pushed behind the net on the defensive work on the back check of Liljegren. The other way, 3-on-2 for a moment. Cross ice pass gets tipped behind the net. DeVito throws it through the crease, trying to hit the streaking teammate Liljegren along the right wing side. Now it's handled by Papravesis. Near side pass could not be completed to Polino, and it's out to center.
Yeah, Liljegren, one of two sophomore, one of two Swedes on the team. A big presence out there as we have an icing call.
At exactly 4 minutes of this third period, and the score 2-0 Wildcats. Faceoff will come back on the UNH end.
Jesper Orval, fourth line right wing, also from Sweden.
Great look on the overhead of the Kelleher bid when he moved to his forehand on the near post, and the big outstretched leg of Hackett staved him off to keep this a 2-0 Wildcat lead. Bouncing puck at center ice. Cephalou will come in with Hill. Puck still bouncing around, though, and the Cats can't settle it. Instead, it's Tyrannese at center ice. Evan Tyrannese coming across the line, and they're offside. 15:41 to go in the third. 2-0 Wildcats. You're listening to Wildcat Hockey from Learfield.
I like that word, stave.
Stave.
It's like an Elizabethan term.
Wing wall. He's got Tyrannese moving to the bottom of the circle. Now behind the Cat cage, being harassed on the near side by Miller. Comes out to the point, Wilson. Wilson tries to throw through traffic, but it hits off his teammate Bourbonnais, and the Wildcats the other way. Miller racing into the zone, tries to flip it across for Vela, who's a stride behind. So it goes along the end boards and now on the near glass. Vela chips it forward for Yzerman right near the hash marks. He waits for the trailer. That's Dawson in the high slot. His shot get redirected to the right wing corner. Vela digs it off the wall. Vela skates to the top of the circle, then throws it in. No Wildcats there. It's Prapavesis moving up the near boards and coming out of the zone with it and gaining some speed in the process is Jesper Orval. Orval into the Wildcat zone. Hits the brakes as Chanter cuts him off on the angle. Now a sharp angle shot from the bottom of the left circle thrown in by Melanson. And once again, Danny Tironi standing tall. Yzerman will glove it down to himself in front of his own bench just outside the zone. Miller plays it back to the UNH end where he has Dawson. On the near side, Chanter using the boards to try to get to the RPI line, and it's slapped right back to the Cats' end. Dawson behind his own net, ahead to Cephalou, 6 minutes in to the third period, and a 2-0 Wildcat lead. Cephalou on the forecheck. Moves into the zone. It's backhanded by Manley to the far side, Tommy Grant. Grant backs it up deeper and uses the kick plate to come in near side to Manley. Manley off the dasher. Passes to Orval. Now back it comes to the defenseman Parker Reno. Reno, some good stick work to get into the Wildcat end left wing side. Reno still handles. Left wing boards. Fans in his first centering bid, so he backhands it deeper on the cycle. It's chipped back to center ice. And Reno gives to Grant. Grant tries to flip in, knocked down by Wise at center. And hand pass will be the call with 13:20 left in the third.
Well, Cephalou just went to touch it. He was trying to incite Wise to go touch the puck up himself. He knew it would be a hand pass violation, but that's going to bring the face-off back into the Wildcat end. The Wildcats need to generate some offensive riding time down in the engineer end. A little too much engineer possession for me right here at this point of the game. Just a 2-goal lead for UNH.
RPI won the face-off, could not generate a shot as DeVito couldn't keep in. Van Riemsdyk gives it to Blackburn. Blackburn a tester just as he crossed the line, and it's gloved and held by Hackett, bringing a face-off at 6:55 of the third.
A little joust there between Brendan Van Riemsdyk and the Captain Jimmy DeVito of this team, this engineer team. A little crack to the head on DeVito. He was wondering, is there anything going to be called? And
the answer was no, so we're still 5-on-5. Face-off in that right circle between those two, Blackburn and DeVito. Quick shot off the face-off, but sticked aside by Hackett. And on the far boards, being battled for, gets sent behind the net. And on the near side, some room for Jared Wilson. Uses the wall in front of his own bench to get to Polino. Now chip forward, and a line change for RPI. Gives Cleland a chance to break out from the far side. Matthias Cleland hustling up the ice. Gets to the line, then flips in. Van Riemsdyk and Grasso on the forecheck, get behind the net. Surrounded by a couple of engineers, so into the corner. It's taken in by Prapavesis. Now at center ice, Liljegren looking to center. Couldn't be handled by Tyrannese as Maller was back. Maller, the outlet feed Blackburn. He comes in. Blackburn going 1-on-2. Gets help from Kelleher. Plays it to Blackburn. He shoots and he scores! Blackburn, a backhand shot in the crease, able to beat the netminder Hackett, and it's 3-0 Wildcats with 12:18 to play in the third.
The Wildcats needed a good play to stretch this lead out to 3 goals. Blackbird gets the first initial tip on the play. Hackett made the save, and he put in the backhand rebound. Great job by Liam Blackburn working in tight, getting his stick free away from the check. 3-0 Wildcats.
4th goal of the season for Liam Blackburn. 2nd point of the night for Tyler Kelleher. The great pass on the left side, and Blackburn the 2nd effort, able to give the Wildcats this 3-0 lead at 7:42. Some breathing room. We'll see what happens in the next few minutes, as blowing a tire coming into the zone was Lou Nanny. Had some room in the left wing, but when he lost the edge, he lost the puck, and the Cats able to bring it to center ice. Kelleher given the lone assist on that goal. Kelleher gains the line, lives it left side. Salvaggio winds up and fires a blast. That's denied by Hackett. That came from the left circle. Kelleher still battling, gets to Salvaggio. Up top, McNicholas. He tried a shot from the slot. That was blocked by Nanny. Still controlled. Kelleher in the corner. He's all over the place. Kelleher reverses direction, moving deeper into the zone to the corner, working up the wall, gets some assistance from Salvaggio. Tried to go to the point. It was broken up for an instant, but then chipped right back in. And what's the call going to be behind the play?
It looks like a little hand pass. But boy, you were right, Mike. Tyler Kelleher all over the place, and he had tired legs there at the end, and still no engineer could wrap him up. I thought at some point somebody's going to really do something in the red uniform to take Tyler Kelleher down. The Wildcats will get a power play, but we had the hand pass, and we'll have the face-off to reset things.
RPI wins the puck in its own end. Along the near side, Mears Moore. Moore plays off the far boards, can't be handled there. So Dawson will simply send it in. Off the end wall, wrapping around is Moore to the near side. Finds Jake Morello. Morello, cross-ice feed, Whiffen. Whiffen comes in, tries a quick wrister, glove down by Taroni, keeps it alive dangerously, and he loses it. He has to get back in between the pipes as the puck goes out to the far wall. Chanter will chip it forward softly for Miller at center. And Miller has it knocked off his stick from behind. And this allows Grant to set up from the near side D. Looking for Morello outside the cat line. It's played behind the net. 10:45 remaining third period. 3-0. Maller has now been given a secondary assist on the Kelleher goal. So Miller, Kelleher, I should say the Blackburn goal. Blackburn the goal assisted by Kelleher and Maller at 7:42 of this period. Mike Propavesas comes into the zone, left wing circle, plays it in front, trying to turn, and Hayhurst in his forehand couldn't get a shot off. It's Blackburn coming the other way. Here come the freshmen. Blackburn right wing, holds in the circle, forehand bid, save made, and held on. 10:20 left in the third, 3-0 Wildcats. Fragona is going to set up a Wildcat power play, a delay call coming up, and UNH still controls, so Taroni skates towards the bench. Cephalou into the zone, gives to Cleland, his shot goes wide. Cephalou will backhand it looking for Marks. Marks controls at the right point, an extra attacker is on for the Wildcats. Kelleher moves in from the slot. Kelleher walks in front, looking down low, and Salvaggio tried to go upstairs, it sailed too high. Back to Marks at the point. Fragona, top of the right circle. Down low, Cephalou. Goes behind the net, Salvaggio looking to center for Hill. It's broken up and finally touched up by RPI. And with 9:20 remaining in the third period, a Unitil power play, Unitil energy for life.
Yeah, it'll be the Wildcats' sixth power play here. It's going to be Hayhurst. He was the one that took down the Wildcat about 45 seconds ago down to our left. So the Wildcats will get a chance to extend this lead even more. UNH Athletics would like to thank State Farm Insurance agents Renee LeClaire and Tony LeClaire for their continued support Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And with your score, UNH 3, Rensselaer nothing, and 9:20 remaining in the third period, we have a timeout on the ice. You're listening to Wildcat Hockey from Learfield. Mike Murphy, Pete Webster with you now. Nate Bridges, Pete Webster with you on Saturday night from the Garden in New York City, UNH against Cornell. Pete and I back together for the main game December 2nd here at the Wit. Tickets available for Whiteout the Wit. UNHWildcats.com, the website. You can print at home, and you better, because tickets are starting to go pretty fast for the annual rivalry battle with Maine Friday, December 2nd. Here, the Wildcats on the Unitil power play.
All right, with a 3-0 lead and get their sixth chance to get going on the man advantage here tonight. 0 for 5 so far.
Kelleher has a goal and an assist. He tries to center McNicholas, but that's broken up into the near corner. Grant tries to dig it off. Grasso is in the play. Kelleher, Savaggio. It's Kelleher who comes away that tries to put it in front. McNicholas on the forehand. A shot, save made, and Cam Hackett didn't quite know he had it, but he did, and he gets the whistle.
Oh, I didn't know he had it either. There were so many legs and bodies around there. It's hard to see. I didn't think that would eventually get through to Hackett, but it did. Wildcats keep fighting away. Winning pucks, winning loose pucks in the Rensselaer end.
All right, face off on the left side, and it's chipped out. Good stick work on the part of Lou Nanny to force Cleland to come back and get it. Matias surveys, begins to march up ice. Hits Kelleher at the red line. Goes across the way McNicholas. McNicholas gains the line. Moves to the right wing. Now in the high slot, Cleland. Quick wrister, tipped by Grasso. Once tries a bit for a rebound. Can't get to it. And Cam Hackett is down on both knees. And a call is coming. The whistle blows with 8:10 to play here. And 51 seconds left on the Jacob Hayhurst penalty.
Well, the Wildcats go for the offensive thrust real quickly after getting it over the blue line. Off the stick of Michael McNicholas, and boy, I thought there was a little extra poke right there that might slide the puck through the 5-hole, but Hackett closed him up, and then he got whacked somehow. I'd like to see a replay of that, and he was prone down on the ice. The referee blew the whistle right away. Kind of wish that had happened against Arizona State a few weeks ago with a Wildcat player down on the ice.
Well, we have to get past that one. That was November 12th, a 5-4 loss.
I'm not going to get past that, Michael. I just can't get past that. I'm sorry. All right, Hackett looks like, is he gonna? He's just talking with the trainer down there and checking things out, see if he got whacked in the head or something. So,
you do remind me, though, this has been a heck of a home stretch for the Wildcats. It all started November 12th. They haven't played on the road since election night. That game at Boston College, November 8th, and the 3 previous games were also home. So this is 7 of 8 on home ice the Wildcats are completing.
Yeah. Fans, the Buyer Beware campaign from the New Hampshire Division of Liquor Enforcement wants to remind you that keeping alcohol out of young people's hands is every adult's responsibility. New Hampshire retailers work hard at checking IDs but can't stop underage drinking by themselves. If you're approached to buy alcohol for a minor, say no. Stay on the right path. Protect New Hampshire's youth by keeping them alcohol-free. Visit thewrongpath.org for more information.
3-0 in favor of the Wildcats ahead of our RPI. For those who have been listening on the radio all night, we had a doubleheader because before this 7 o'clock hockey game, it was a special 5 o'clock start time at Lundholm Gym for the UNH women's basketball team, which prevailed over Bryant College 62-60. And if you haven't heard about Brittany Lai yet, get used to the name. 31 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists for the Wildcat guard. All right, everything seems to be okay with Cam Hackett after being checked out by the athletic trainer. We're back to live action. UNH from our left to our right. Kelleher into the zone. This is still a Unitil power play. Kelleher pinned against the wall. Now he starts to come off at angles towards the net. Works it down low. Grasso. Grasso behind the net. Kelleher again. Spins to the left side. Comes across. McNicholas trying to stuff one in the near post, but he shoots behind the net. Kelleher left circle. Kelleher at the face-off dot. Tried to drop it for Savaggio. Poke check by Reno. Cleland taps it forward. Along the half boards, Kelleher across the way. McNicholas, one-timer, kick save, rebound, Salvaggio save. Then he shoots one that goes high off the glass. And it's cleared. That will do it for the power play. So a few opportunities, but Cam Hackett and company able to keep the Cats lead to only 3, but we're down to 7-10.
Well, he must have scouted McNicholas, who's had so many great power play goals from that face-off, Todd. He shut the door on a couple of those bids.
Miller weaved his way in before shoveling over to Iserman, broken up to the near boards. And Lou Nanny will come off the wall. Nanny to center ice. Across the red line, a one-hand backhand smacks off Wise, and Nanny races in to capture the puck. Goal line extended right now. Wise will check him into the boards. Behind the net, Miller plays it along the far wall. Kept in by Grant. Tapped off the glass behind Tironi. And then the glass to the near boards helps Dylan Maller clear it down the ice. Tommy Grant back for RPI, which is beginning a pretty long week. They have to go to Arizona State right after Thanksgiving for a pair of games. Into these Wildcats on a forehand bid fired in by Polino. Got slowed down before getting to Tironi. Knocked to the near point, kept in by Moore. His throw in intercepted by Vela, and Vela quickly the other way. Gives to Iserman. Iserman gains the zone, right wing. Hits the brakes along the right wall, turns forehand pass into the Vela vicinity around the right circle. And that was broken up by Pratt Provesis. 6 minutes left in regulation. Dandy Tironi has yet to yield the goal as we keep an eye on Tironi, the junior from Trumbull, Connecticut. 1 shutout this year, 4 in his Wildcat career. Puck is behind the net. 1 shutout this season, November 5th win against Mercyhurst, which was by the score of 3-0 that it is right now. Puck comes out over near the crease, getting tripped up as he tried to come in from the left side. Was Victor Liljegren. There was no call, and the puck comes out. Nears Moore. Pressed against the glass by Hill. Moore digs it out, and it's onto the stick of DeVito. The captain moves in. Forehand bid from the left circle. Chanter got a piece of it and lost sight of it. Tironi did see it, though, and Danny Tironi covers up.
Yeah, just a minute ago, Victor Liljegren, he's the biggest player on this team, 6'3", 200. Tried to back his way right into the crease, protecting the puck the whole way, and did get a bit off. That's kind of a unique way of getting yourself to the crease. Use your big girth and plow your way in there. He was turned aside, though, as was this last bid by the Engineers.
Face off in the left circle, comes to the near wall. That's where Marks gets to it. He'll pass it forward for Blackburn. Blackburn had the 3rd of the Wildcats' goals, the only one scored here in the 3rd period. The other 2 came in the 1st, courtesy of Chris Miller and Tyler Kelleher. 5 minutes remaining in regulation. Taranis gains the line. Cross-ice pass on a good one, finding the charging Whiffen, but he ran into Blackburn, who stands him up and gives to Van Riemsdyk. Van Riemsdyk tried to play it out, and instead it goes out of play. 4:53 left in the 3rd, 3-0 Wildcats. This is Wildcat hockey from Learfield. Blackburn missed some time. A young, exciting team, and they're back at the WIT December 2nd. You better be here as well. UNHWildcats.com. Face off to the left of Tironi. Kelleher wins it to the corner. But RPI with the empty net has the extra skater, so they keep play going. There's one whistled wide. That's fired in by Terranese. Wilson goes behind the net with it. Coming out on the left wing side, DeVito. DeVito at the hash marks. Works it back to Prapavesis. There's a touch pass from Terranese, and a quick wrister snapped in, hits off the boards. Once again to the point. Here's a one-timer. Tironi makes another stop. There was a lot of traffic in front of him, but he kept his eyes on the puck, fired in by Evan Terranese, and we'll get another face-off. 3:52 to go, and that very inviting open net out to our right.
Another one of those big bodies in there, Brady Whiffen. He's also 6'3", too, parked right on the doorstep, being twisted out by a Wildcat defenseman there, but really key, Danny Tironi seeing that puck and not leaving any rebound.
It's Miller, it's Bourbonnais on the face-off, won by the Wildcats. Mallard tries to play off the glass, kept in by Orval along the left boards. Orval has it back, works it right wing side. Now it comes to the point. Moore, here's a one-timer from the right circle. That one blasted wide and comes out of the zone all the way down the ice, but Moore will get there first. 3.5 left, third period. UNH 3, Rensselaer nothing.
That's a really different ending in the last 5 minutes here for the Wildcats. I don't think they expected this.
Mallard tried to find Eisman in the pass. Eisman races, but they call icing. Shane can't believe it. He's thinking he was the first guy there. So
yeah. Yeah, I don't think anybody in this whole building thought Eisman didn't win that race to the face-off dot.
And just to scratch the wound, the video replay has shown it in high def.
Sorry, man in stripes. I think he might have missed that one.
DeVito Miller face-off to the right of Tironi. That's been empty for a while. RPI, though, not getting much going with the extra attack. Wilson at the left point. Tries to throw it in front. It's tipped. Save made on the right pad of Tironi. And before a rebound can materialize for Whiffen, it's out to the far boards. Wise has it in the face-off circle to the near side. Mallard, he's got room. Mallard fires it down the ice. Empty net goal! Dylan Mallard at 17 minutes of the third. That should do it. 4-0 Wildcats.
Yeah, Dylan Mallard looked up, and I think he saw his two forwards out there skating up ice. And I don't think either one of them was open, and he saw this gaping opening and just fired it down the ice from his own blue line. Yeah, you take a chance that it's going to be an icing call. But the Wildcats will take that. Another nail in the coffin of the Engineers here as the Wildcats pick up their fourth goal. Wildcats hadn't scored more than 3 goals against the Engineers in the last 3 games, those 3 losses.
Well, Dylan Mallard had not scored a goal his entire career until this season, but the senior from Parkland, Florida now has 3 goals in 8 games played, 4-0, and Cam Hackett back in net for RPI, which basically has understood its fate today. Now it's simply a matter of can the Wildcats get the shutout for Danny Tironi. There's a shot from point-blank range. Tironi slows it down, then it's swiped out of there. Another big-time save as Jake Wood, the fourth-line center, found himself all alone in front.
Ride the wave. Ride the Tironi wave.
Van Riemsdyk in left wing side. His wrist shot goes wide off the near post. And another chance in transition. It's Liljegren across the line left wing. Liljegren goes in, and he'll fire one that goes well wide and down the ice. This would be a nice Thanksgiving present to come here and put together a solid 60 minutes against a team that had been really hassling the Wildcats over the last few years.
And the last 2 times they did play this week before Thanksgiving, 2 years ago here at the WIT, and last year out there in Troy, New York.
It's been almost 4 years since the Wildcats have beaten Rensselaer. It was January 5th of 2013. And now a 4-0 lead. You can almost smell the stuffing, Peter. Here comes Salvaggio down the ice. Salvaggio tries to turn on his forehand. His shot, that one turned aside by Hackett. Saved by Salvaggio on the left wall. He moves in. He's got McNicholas across the way. Score! McNicholas from Salvaggio. 5-0 Wildcats.
Well, the Wildcats are getting used to Michael McNicholas being on the right side. This was a little tighter than we're used to seeing in the power play, but it was still with his stick and hips wide open to the play as he's skating backwards. right on the edge of the face-off circle. No chance for Hackett at all on that play. Just a quick snapper there. Great feed by Salvaggio, putting it on his line mate's tape. I don't smell the stuffing, but I can smell the stuffing, but not the squash. I'm going to disappoint my mother. I don't do squash, so.
We'll let you deal with that issue. Father, mother. All right, meanwhile, Wildcats with a 5-0 lead, and that play by Salvaggio to keep it in at the left boards can't be denied. That was a pretty scrappy play, brought to you by Direct Capital, a division of CIT Bank, where being scrappy is a core principle. Direct Capital, making small business lending remarkable, and a proud employer of UNH alumni. Learn more at directcapital.com/UNH. Well, definitely the Cats have fattened up here. What a feast. 5-0 here after a 6-2 win last weekend against UMass. They get the Tuesday night game, and this will be a satisfying one. Cephalou comes in, plays off the far wall. Rensselaer just still working, though. They want to make sure, do everything they can to at least get one. Get one before they head out to the land of the Sun Devils. Orval crosses the line and then fires it in. Taroni comes out of the crease to play it near side Chanter. Chanter gets to Chris Miller, and Miller's got some open ice. Already has one goal. Miller across the line, right wing side. Hits the brakes, looking to center, but that's taken away by Orval. Orval to the far side, Moore, under 10 seconds to play. Moore comes into the Wildcats zone, right wing circle, poke check by Dawson, comes back. Eiserman on the back check. Eiserman lifts to center ice, and that's it. The UNH Wildcats start the holiday early by beating Rensselaer by a score of 5-0 at the Whittemore Center tonight. Goals from Miller, Kelleher, Blackburn, Maller, and McNicholas, and Danny Taroni with his second shutout of the year and the 5th of his Wildcat career.
Yeah, great win here for the Wildcats. They had struggled in some of these Tuesday night games before Thanksgiving. Not here tonight. They were in control from the start. 14-3 shot differential in the first. 2-0 lead after 20 minutes. They put the pedal down, and they win 5-0.
Plenty to be thankful for tonight. When we come back, it's the Bud